Hey, welcome back to another 2 Minute Tuesday. Let's roll. And the intro. Yeah, I know. Right, so today's 2 Minute Tuesday, I'm going to plan to say that we will get it done pretty fast. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to whack 2 minutes on the clock. So today we're going to continue our theme about the journey of Nutrabaits and where it went with its base mixes, how they were developed, why they were developed, and yeah, that's where we're going. So in the last video, we looked at the amazing big fish mix. In this video, we're going to look at this bad boy. This is Enervite Gold. Enervite, doesn't matter what way you pronounce it, it's all good. So Enervite came out first. It was the first kind of dedicated bird food created by Nutrabaits. And it was around sort of those late 80s into the early 90s when bird foods were really coming to the fore. And bird foods are amazing fish catchers. And the reason for that is bird foods are brilliant short-term attractors. They pump out, because of their texture, they pump out all the goodness into the water column. It allows for maximum stimulation of whatever attractors you've put in it. And that's what we did in the 80s and 90s. When we were playing around with them, we were led to believe that bird foods blow. So therefore you had to keep continuously changing the flavors to kickstart it again. Now, experience has shown that that's not the case. Bird foods don't blow. And, you know, as long as you don't overcook, overkill, overflavor the product, they'll work fairly long term. They're not going to have the long term benefits of some of the more HMV style baits because it's not a HMV bait. But it does have goodness in it that carp will require. They have a myriad of vitamins and minerals. They have a good carbohydrate level. In summertime, carp can get really turned on to particles because they want a lot of energy. And likewise, if you go in with a bird food bait, if you're using a lot of particles and bird food baits as well, it can really kick off some good results. They just bring something to the table that only bird foods can. One of the other things is a lot of people like to mess around with flavor combinations, always looking for the holy grail. Bird foods are a great carrier for that. But they're not just a carrier. They do, as I said, have a lot of nutritional value in their own right. Now, one thing I will say is something that's on all packaging from Nutrabaits is the ingredients. So the ingredients are over this side, just here, and that will give you a breakdown of what's in the bait. And I think it's fair to say we're one of very few companies that do that. And in fact, I personally would love to see the industry regulated so that all companies had to do it, because I think it would be a real big eye-opener to what's actually in a lot of people's baits. But we're not going to go down that road today. We're just going to stick with what we know, and that is that we do that, and then we've done it from the get-go for a reason. We've always wanted to be as transparent with our customers. This is what's in the bag and this is why it's going to catch. We spend enormous amounts of money and we make very little profits within Nutrabaits because we would rather sacrifice profits for quality. And we've lived by that mantra. We'll probably die by that mantra. But while we're still trading, be rest assured what you're buying is the highest quality ingredients on the market, bar none. And I can stand over that. Don't care what anybody says. I'm not talking about home rolling. Is a whole different thing because you can make it as expensive as you want. But from a commercial point of view, there is nothing on the market that touches our baits. I'm waffling. Let's get back to the Enervite Gold. Right, so what does this contain? Well, it says it on the tin. It says it's got red factor, PTX, CLO, it's got whey protein, soy flour, it's got maize meals, it's got vitamins, and it's got minerals. That's what it says on the tin. What makes this such a great bait is all of those ingredients I've just mentioned are massive attractors to carp. They love them. They love the texture of these baits because they're kind of coarse and gritty. That's what actually allows the flavors to seep through and out into the water column real fast. So if I was going for a quick slip in, slip out session on a lake, I would rather have bird foods with me. I think they're going to give you a more instant hit. Do they work long term? Absolutely. Do you need to keep changing flavors? No, you don't. Because of the type of base mix that it is, it's coarse. It will let all the attractors, whether you put in Nutramino, Multimino, and by the way, Multimino rocks in bird foods, whether you put in some sort of, GLM or liver powder, anything that's in powder form is going to lock in longer. Anything that's in liquid form is going to dissipate quicker. What you should be doing is trying to have a mix of the two so that you will always have an attractiveness to the bait if the carp come late to the party and it's been out in the water for a bit of time. The other thing that works really well with Enervite Gold is any of our essential oils mixed with a flavor. There is nothing better. Ignore bird foods at your peril. They work really well if you want to make up some small batches, because if you're doing short session fishing, you're not going to be jumping in and jumping out with massive beds of bait. It'll only be maybe a half a kilo or a few handfuls of baits crammed up around your hook bait. You can afford to do some home rolling, and that's where you can experiment. Definitely would recommend essential oils mixed with a low level flavor. It is going to catch you some really, really good fish. So this is Gerry. This is 2 Minute Tuesday, looking at what undoubtedly is one of the most iconic bird food base mixes on the market, bar none. Ignore it at your peril, or like them all. Talk to you soon. Catch you on the flip flop.